What are we doing today, Anastasia? Today we have a funky program with MESOFORM Pro Professional version. We do detox and a lifting. For this, I need a wet cotton pad. I will put it under passive electrode. Try to turn this tail in the direction on the elbow. And fix on top with a belt. Then this connection jack, it does not bend and will last much longer. Initially, we set on our MESOFORM Pro mode minus. Time I set 15 minutes. We put primer on attachment. We check that the intensity was set on mean position. Press the start button and distribute primer on the right cheek. Under the eye a little and go down the neck. We don't do anything to the central part of the neck. We go around where the thyroid gland is located. We go a little lower into décolleté area a bit and begin lymphatic drainage. Lymphatic drainage. We begin from the back side point of the neck, soft, smooth lines on the neck, easy point fixation at the end. I emphasize that at the fixation point, be gentle. We shouldn't put much pressure on the lymph nodes, but still this points areas the logical conclusion of each movement. Movements, lines are put parallel to each other. And the fifth line goes under the chin. We go behind the ear and down. Repeat 3 times. Watch carefully Nastya's moves. Pause video if needed and try it, even on switched off MESOFORM Pro. Now we do detox. We are getting started all metabolic processes. And it will give a very good lightening to the skin, and the third time we make the passage. Altogether we get on the neck 4 lines, 5th line under the chin towards posterior lateral projection of the neck. Into the trapezius muscle, then add a little gel over. Work a little over upper lip and move from center to periphery, from the center of the chin to the ear, down the neck, from the corner of the mouth, slight fixation point here, to the ear, down the neck, over the lip, along the cheekbone to the temple, along the ear behind the ear, and down the neck. From the wing of the nose, about the cheekbone, to the temple and down the neck further. Notice slight fixation points. And the sweeping motion from under the eye to the temple, along the ear and down the neck. Repeat 3 times. Get the detox started from the corner of the mouth to the ear and down. We're in no hurry. All lines are smooth and gentle. We are not moving the skin. Should be a sufficient amount of gel. The attachment should be gliding smoothly. Try to get around large moles and birthmarks. The last movement under the eye, go down. One last time. Down. Down. That is, the whole detox program aims to gather from the center and drive down everything, and sell waste products, and accordingly we'll have a more pronounced result from lifting program later. Go to the forehead area. Distribute the gel with any way convenient for you. You can squeeze a little bit of gel right on top of the attachment, as I do, or put gel on fingertips and distribute. Okay, here we are. Start from the center of the forehead. Try with attachment to draw your brow. Part of the attachment goes above the brow. I will show again. Look carefully. Part of attachment under the eyebrow. And the central part is just sliding along the brow. And to a temple area moving forward. So exactly on the bone? Yes, on the bone edge of the orbit, that is, on the eyeball itself we do not overstep. 1, 2, move on to the scalp, line 3 and 4, line 5 under the eye. If there is enough gel and it is not yet completely absorbed, then go down. What I want to say, if sensitivity is high enough and you are not quite comfortable using whole surface of the attachment in the area of the third eye, then you unfold it at 45-degree angle, put it on the edge, thus reducing the attachment's working area, and it will get much less sensitive and more comfortable. Working nice and gentle, advancing to the scalp. We just move holding attachment and slide on gel? Absolutely. Also 3 times, but I feel comfortable with whole surface of the attachment, so... But you are at minimum now? Yes, I'm at minimum. At absolute minimum, that is, the dial of intensity in the leftmost position all the way. Yes, nowhere else to turn left. Do it again. I want to do one more round. This enjoyable and fascinating process. And under the eye, the 5th moment to the temple. Make sure not to push hard on the temple. That is, everything is very soft and smooth. We move on to the left half of the face. While you apply the gel, I will ask the most frequently asked question now. Especially the girls saw the video. When we work detox and under eyes, we have a sweeping motion under eyes from inner corner of the eye to the outer. Everybody just got used to that when applying cream, then move the other way around from the outside corner to the inner corner of the eye. Yes, this is a common question, as most now more massage movement. And I remind you that we are doing detox, and we start all processes from the center of the face to the periphery. When we work on tightening and strengthening the circular muscle of the eyes, then you can perform the movement from the periphery to the center. And this moment will be covered in our other videos, so you can always pay attention to it. We keep doing detox. I do second pass on the left. Go behind the ear and get down to back lateral projection of the neck. That is, when you go along the jaw on the edge of the lower jaw, you don't push hard, you just move and just press a little with attachment. Yes, I try to pick up the skin with attachment and slide along. I need a bit of gel, please. But we don't displace and do not squeeze additionally. No mechanical action here. We don't need to collect the muscles in a fold somehow. Pinch them or pull something. We just slightly fix the attachment in certain points. So let's go again on the points. When we start the detox process, we start behind the ear. We have here anatomical formation, mastoid. Certain muscles are fixed to it. Accordingly, we relax it slightly. When these muscles are cramped and tensed, it gives these prominent cords on the neck. Respectively, this moment we eliminate with an easy fixation point behind the ear. Go to trapezius muscle and slightly fix at this point. I remind you, here we have 4 lines, 5th under the chin and down again. Then we move on, rise up higher, rise up the cheek. distributed the gel, and I remind you that the movements are from the center down, from the center of the chin along the bones of the lower jaw, behind the ear slightly down, from the corner of the mouth to the tragus, along the ear and down the neck, above the lip, from the central part of the cheek to the temple down the neck, further from the wing of the nose along the cheekbone to the temple and down the neck, under the eye to the temple, don't push much, and down the neck. Repeat 2 more times. Shoulders are relaxed during the procedures. Don't throw one foot on another. Stay relaxed. Do not flex muscles. Stay relaxed. Tune in to detox. Get into the beauty groove. Add time if needed. One more time. Go with average pace. And one line superimposed on the previous line. Further work on the forehead, upper and lower eyelid zones. Distribute the gel. Here we move from the center of the forehead to the temple. The second line is superimposed on the previous. Third line and fourth line, moving from bottom to top. Fifth line under the eye to the temple and go along ear down the neck. Repeat the second time. 1, 2, 3, 4, and the fifth line under the eye, go to the temple, along the ear, slightly behind the ear and down the neck. And third pass, with the attachment draw an eyebrow to the temple fixed point, here a little. The second line is superimposed on the previous. Third line, fix at the temple. The fourth line is as close to hair growth zone as possible. And the fifth line, under the eye, along the ear, behind the ear, down the neck, and we are done here. Then we carry on with lifting procedure on MESOFORM Pro. Set MESOFORM Pro to bipolar mode, plus/minus. Leave the intensity at minimum and keep working with this, the same zone that I just finished detox, because here I have more gel and it is not completely absorbed. Start with a nose tip. We are making nose to look chiseled. And here I definitely draw your attention. Make sure the attachment is set at a 45 degrees angle. Since bipolar mode minus plus is a tightening mode, it is the strongest, and accordingly, sensations will be more tangible. And if even with this 45-degree angle there are very sensitive girls, that even with this position they are still sensitive and not comfortable, we have a special attachment for sensitive areas. It is with special conductive ophthalmic rubber tip. It softens the action and makes it comfortable going through the procedure. Make sure you ordered this one. It is a blast. So now on the lines, we are from the tip of the nose, we are lifting eyebrow up. That is, everything related to the lift goes from bottom to top. So from the tip of the nose along the central part of the forehead, then inner corner of the eyebrow with a light fixation point here, working up to the hairy parts of the head, further from under the eyebrow easy fixation again, to the scalp. Also lines go next to each other, the central part of the eyebrow, and move on to work out the outer tail of the eyebrow. Work also on temple region, so we remove the spasm here in circular muscle of the eye, and it gives us the opportunity to smooth out those crow's feet. Make another pass. Remove the clamp that most have in between the eyebrows. Accordingly, we are lifting brows, straightening upper eyelid and smooth wrinkles that gather between the eyebrows, and horizontal forehead wrinkles are being smoothed out. That is, we are relaxing the muscles. One more passage, and we will go down on the cheek to model cheekbone lines. That is, if comfortable, then you can work with the entire area of the attachment. Yes, usually the central part of the face is more sensitive. This is the area between eyebrows, the area near the wings of the nose, and the area on the chin. Here is the exit point of large nerve ending, so basically, we are more sensitive in this part of the face. Just reduce the intensity then. Yes, and make the procedure more comfortable. Now, distribute the gel throughout the working surface. And this is our cheek, neck, chin over upper lip, and all the movements. I remind you, go from bottom to the top, start up from the supraclavicular fossa, lift up to the ear, and fixing the area of chewing muscle attachment. To find this point, you need to open your mouth and feel where it is fixed. As a dimple, feel it with your fingers. This is the first fixation point. Little further, second fixation point. Third fixation point. The fourth fixation point. And the fifth fixation point. At the wing of the nose, from this point, we go to the temple area, cheekbone, and down the neck. Repeat. The first line, the second line fixed in the cheekbone, third line, fourth line, fifth line, from wing of nose to temple, across cheekbone and down the neck. Once again. The first line runs along the ear. We are modeling the contours of the face to the top. The second line is fixed near the previous one. The third line, the fourth line, the fifth line. I draw your attention to the fact that when we go through this point here, we have the lymph nodes. We don't press and hold the lymph nodes. We carefully follow the facial contours. With the attachment, you don't need to press harder here. Additional pressure not needed to tighten cheeks and tighten chin. Cheeks and chin will tighten. You just need to make a little effort, but effort in terms of the number of procedures and not the mechanical pressure of the attachment. So I focus your attention, again, when we go through the lymph node zone, respectively. In this zone, the attachment simply moves along the contour. The attachment moves smooth and easy. You are gliding it easy and without pressure. So once again, about lifting procedure. How are we differentiating here? The fixation point passes from the wing of the nose to the temple, respectively. We move in this way and fix in the area of the zygomatic muscle, in the area of the zygomatic bone. And thus, we strengthen the contours of the face, tighten the cheek and put it in place. We are modeling the oval and make the cheekbone clearer. Magic. Then, work a little with the chin. Literally 2 passes. We are fixed under the chin for a few seconds. First, I'll tell you what we do, then show a line, bring the attachment to the central part of the chin. Bring the attachment to the central part of the chin, fix the attachment, Move up the chin and do not tilt the attachment, leaving the same position. Look carefully. Edge of the attachment's metal tip stays in contact with skin. Go up under the lower lip. This makes it possible to remove the spasm of the muscle that lowers the lip. Let's go again. Under the chin. If you feel comfortable, work with the entire working surface of the attachment. A tilt move. Do you turn your tongue a little? No, I seem to push the jaw a little forward. You can raise your head. And it will be very good if you put your tongue on the lower row of teeth. So we have 3 lines. The first, second, third. It gives a counter lift and a lip angle lift. Then we go to the right side. Nastya, you are demonstrating so good. I personally want right away sit down and start doing the procedure. I sit and envy you. I was really looking forward to this moment when we start shooting this video. Here I also start from top. This is when we detoxed, we moved from the center to the periphery and all the lines we direct down. And here, lifting procedure, we go up. Let me remind you, we have a lift from the tip of the nose. Nose tip is worked on in each program. Central part of the forehead, next. From the inner corner of the eyebrow to the scalp. As if you were lifting the eyebrow with attachment, lifting it up, but try not to move the skin and move from the inner corner of the eye to outer. Make sure to work on the temple muscle here as well. There may also be a sensitive area, since there is practically no subcutaneous fat in temple area. So you can turn the attachment at an angle of 45 degrees, and this will give a more comfortable feeling during the procedure. This movement gives a good lift to the eyebrows and strengthens upper eyelids. Exactly what we all want to do. Little trick here to show. Unusual stuff. I can show you this pendulum technique to strengthen the upper eyelid. We set the attachment at an angle and work along the bone edge of the orbit. Pull everything further up and return the eyebrow to its anatomical position. And once again under the eye, we made 3 passes. Add the gel. No gel? Yes. Let's take another one. Thank you. Nice to open a new bottle. Distribute gel our cheek. How this side has strengthened and tightened. I have not done the procedure for a long time. And what are your feelings? Personally, I have a feeling like when, for example, you didn't do any exercise for a long time. Even if it's elementary exercise, and when you did it, you directly feel that here are your muscles. They are in good shape, and they're not just hanging around. That is how I feel. I feel that my eyes have now opened. I feel that my cheek is in place, and everything has become stronger. Now I have distributed the gel, and we get down to business. Let's tighten. We move with an easy fixation point in the area of the zygomatic muscle and zygomatic bone. I remind you that this is the conditioning line from the wing of the nose to the temporal bone, and we will be fixed here. First, this is a second fixation point, the third fixation point, the fourth fixation point. When I move in the area of the lymph nodes, I seem to roll the attachment without pressure, just slide. Understood. Roll the attachment without pressure, just slide. Second pass, yes, we don't work anywhere by force. And I want to draw your attention to the fact that the gel should be enough. The attachment in this case glides well. You should not be distracted by constantly adding gel. Apply it in sufficient quantities initially, neither more nor less, just enough. So when you get involved with the procedure, focus on the very process on lifting and detox. I'm already starting to accelerate. Now your intermediate fixation point has appeared a little below. We haven't shown this technique on the left side. Tell what you are doing. Why did you start to fix here as well? I probably, like all the girls, have certain features of the structure of their faces. So I want to work a little more in this area and work harder to strengthen the area of the nasolabial triangle of the right side. Respectively, you can also emphasize the areas you want to work on most during the procedure. So what am I doing now? In order to work the area of the nasolabial triangle on the right side, I fix the attachment under the chin, then on the chin. That is, under the chin, on the cheek, under the lip practically, here near the corner of the mouth, and near the wing of the nose, and then I go along the zygomatic zone to the temple and down, I go down the neck. We have a separate video on area of the nasolabial triangle where we explain everything in more detail. So my hand automatically moves and stops at this point so that everything gets worked on. The classic version. When we work to strengthen the contour and to model the cheekbone, these 4 lines go along the neck with fixation in the cheekbone. Here is the 3rd line and here is the 4th line. And from this point, from the wing of the nose, we move to the temple region along the zygomatic muscle and go along the ear. Behind the ear and down, we go down the neck. What I was doing now was an additional work on the point to strengthen the nasolabial triangle. And I need to do a little more on the right side and a few more passages over the chin. Here is our fixation point. Go up right under the lip. And the 3rd line. Do not squeeze anything or apply pressure. There is also the chin lymph nodes here. One more passage. Just gently touch it gently. Second line. We are working on the muscle that lowers the lower lip and the corners of the mouth. And we do not want them to get lower. Let's do one more pass. So, I have done detox and a lifting. What's next? Then, turn off MESOFORM Pro, wash off the remaining primer, tone the skin with AHA tonic from Dermadial, and apply setting cream, light movements, with your fingertips until completely absorbed, including the skin around the eyes. Nastya, I wanted to clarify one thing from you. You have now shown the classics. When we have evenly distributed movements throughout the face and we didn't make special accents. And if, for example, we are talking about some deep creases on the forehead, a deep line in between brows, or an oval that requires special attention, then what we do then? When we start the course, we do this procedure and then we emphasize or what? If we are talking about areas where you want to focus, and when the client girls communicate with our consultants, we always ask to describe what you have. Someone concerned with, for example, forehead or eyelids or nasolabial folds. In any case, we start all the procedures exactly with this program, which I have just demonstrated. It's a light detox and a slight lift when we worked all here. We speeded all metabolic processes. We improved the flow of arterial blood. We improved the general physiological and anatomical position of the muscles. And then we can work already with some accents, more specific, more delicate. You yourself will focus on those areas during the procedure, but overall work and start as we have demonstrated in this video.